Thank you all. It was really good to be away, and it's really great to be back. I'm really thankful to be here. I'm really energized after the first service this morning, and I'm really looking forward to this service, especially because we're doing a child dedication in the Point, which is, have we done that before?
I think
this is
so.
the first time
Inaugural.
in this humanist service that we're dedicating children. I'm so excited to do that today.
Welcome to those of you joining us online. Welcome everyone here in Tulsa this first Sunday in August. It's the last in our month of our Summer of Peace. We started with inclusion in June, moved to respect in July, and we're focusing on kindness in August. And we realized while Marlon was away, we haven't had a chance to have a volunteer appreciation event for 2.5 years, ever since COVID, hit us so hard. So we decided to have a volunteer appreciation Sunday. So thank you for joining us for this Gratitude Sunday. Really, we have a special service prepared for you, we think.
Yeah, and I want to thank David Smith for filling in for Rick Fortner, he was traveling, trying to get back for today, but with all the airline fiascos going on out there, he couldn't be with us. So he's thinking of us, but we're thankful to have you, David, up there today.
We're also thankful to have Meredith Stanfill here. She's a longtime member and a mom, and she's in Sonen Library offering little shoulder massages. So try to think about all your languages of love. We have gift bags, massages, special cucumber water. Really wanted to show you how much we appreciate you and your service to the church. So hope you'll take advantage of some of those goodies, and hope you'll fill out a Connect card if you're new visiting with us for the first time. If you're online, there should be a link you can click on. There's some pledge envelopes on the table in the back on your way out, if that's the way you decide to contribute. And anything else?
No, I just feel myself settling in with all these wonderful, wonderful people being together. I've been traveling, for those who don't know, for 3 months. I had 3 months out, 90 days with my family, and it's great to be home, to be sleeping in my own bed, to be back with you all. And I just feel being out there in the world and seeing how other communities do things and how other religions make their way in the world, it made me appreciate ever more what we have here in this special little place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. In the midst of everything that's going on, we have each other, and I'm just glad to be back with you.
Well, we're glad to have you back. And I'm going to introduce Ross McKinney, who's lighting our chalice for us this morning, and he has some words about gratitude to share with us as I light our chalice here in Emerson Hall.
We light our chalice with thanks for this very day, with thanks for this flame in our free religious community, with thanks for those who came before us, with thanks for those who will follow us, with thanks for the sun, the sky, the stars in our cosmos, with thanks for the earth, the moon, our oceans, seas, and rivers, with thanks for the breath in our bodies, and the great mystery holding us all.
Good morning. I am Shannon Boston, your religious educator, and I am here to tell you a story of kindness today. It is a story about what our volunteers have been doing day in and day out to keep this church and our community thriving through their acts of kindness. It is called Heart Prints by P.K. Hallinan. How many heart prints will you leave today? Will you share with a friend? Will you give hugs away? Will you listen with patience to what others say? How many heart prints will you leave today? A heart print is formed when you do something kind. Your love touches others, leaving heart prints behind. So what will you do? Well, that's up to you. You can smile at people as you pass on the street. You can offer a greeting to someone you meet. You can even pitch in an hour or two to help out a friend with too much to do. Yes, each little kindness leaves heart prints that say, A very nice person has been here today. Sometimes you'll reach out to someone in strife and do something thoughtful that changes a life. Perhaps you might say the quietest thing and never quite know how you've made a heart sing. So how many heart prints will you leave today? Will you cheer up a teammate who's made the wrong play? Will you share a few laughs so a classmate will smile? Or tend to a friend who's been ill for a while? Even a wink of your eye helps to show you care about others and want them to know. Yes, heart prints can heal us with the power of love. They lift up our spirits like the wings of a dove. And it's joyful to know in all that we do, the heart prints we give make us happy too. So offer your friendship to each person you meet and join in the music, the singing, the beat, and you'll brighten the world as you go on your way. How many heart prints will you leave today? As soon as we watch this next video, I'll invite the children in the audience to come with me to make some heart prints to spread around our church and our community.
Thank you, Shannon, for that beautiful story. One way we touch each other's hearts is by saying our covenant together every Sunday when we're together. So please join me in saying this promise we make to each other in this non-creedal community. It starts with the word love. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. It's so exciting to be celebrating all the ways that we help one another this morning on this Gratitude Sunday when we weren't able to gather together, which lasted for a long time. I'm glad Ember has something to say about all this. Our choir members kept singing. They did performances on Zoom that you'll see in a little while. They sang for the Chalice Lighting. And we started a new tradition during the pandemic. We started lighting a chalice when we were together on Sunday morning and invited many of you who generously made these recordings at home, really holding our community together and showing us a way forward through these tough times. So I hope you enjoy this gratitude video with us this morning.
New life. New life comes to us as a gift. Each new life makes its demands, exacts our attentiveness, enlists and organizes our energies, and blesses us.
New life grows. Each grows, ever surpassing the life that was for the life that shall be. May we patiently wait and watch in wonder.
New life bears untold promise. Each new life has a story to tell, and we shall listen. Each new life goes forth from us, laying the child's sovereign claim in realms being, laying the child's sovereign claim on whole realms of being that we had called our own, and now they are part of.
May we be worthy of the gift. May they be blessed, whatever the pathways they follow, whatever the life they claim as their own.
Now I'd like to invite the parents with the children to be dedicated and the other sponsors, grandparents, and sister to come forward. Yes, you stand here. And if you'll stand over here. There we go. Beautiful. Hey, y'all. First, to the parents. Wesley and Nicole, in bringing your amazing, beautiful, precious, beloved children to be received by this ancient symbol into the fellowship of all souls, you declare your desire and the purpose to bring them up according to your best endeavor in the way of that set of values which speaks most forcefully to you from out of your own hearts. Will you therefore, as you are given to know it, teach your children the ways of truth and righteousness and love? I will. And now to the grandmother and sister who's standing in for your mother this morning, will you, as sponsors of these children, ever bear in mind the tender and solemn duty which you here undertake? Will you trust, befriend, and love them always in order that they may grow in righteousness and love? If so, please say, I will. Right. Remember, when these two beloved children reach the years of discretion, when they'll be able, out of their own hearts and their own minds, to be able to acknowledge their duty to humanity and to community, that you lead them to come forward and announce that themselves from out of their own hearts in this place. Will the community please rise as you are able and join in our words of dedication for these children. Now we, the people, join me in reading it together. Do you have it in your program if you have a program? It's not written in there? All right, then you're going to have to repeat after me.
Excellent, excellent.
Now, we, the people of this congregation,
Now we, the people of this congregation,
understanding our solemn obligations to share in the upbringing of these beloved children, do hereby pledge ourselves to promote their welfare in mind, body, and soul, to the ends that they may grow in beauty, love, and truth. Beautiful. Now, please name your eldest child.
Avery.
Give me her full name.
Avery Christian Vreeland.
Avery Christian Vreeland. I welcome you into the fellowship of all souls and dedicate you to a life of righteousness and love. Now watch this. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good works of this world all the days of your life. Be blessed and be a blessing.
Good. Will you please name this child?
This is Ember Ruby Vreeland.
Ember, you think? Ember Ruby Vreeland. Welcome you into the fellowship of all good souls and dedicate you to a life of righteousness and truth. May your eyes see beauty. May your lips speak truth.
Ready to eat it.
May your heart know love. And may your hands do the good works of this world all the days of your life. Delicious flowers.
Be blessed and be a blessing. Thank you. You may be seated.
Here. Look at these two.
So lovely to be able to do that this morning. Thank you. That warms my heart. And one thing that we like to do in this time is to have a moment of silence together. Something we rarely do is be in silence, not trying to talk, not trying to primp or preen or show ourselves off to anybody or even to ourselves, but just to sit in silence, to breathe, to listen, to feel our own heartbeat, to recognize the wonder and the awe of existence itself. And so before we do that, take a moment of silence, I want to name a few folks who let us know that they've got things going on in their hearts. Linda Brooks Allred asked us to keep her family members who are struggling in our hearts this morning. Edward Knight mentioned that John Mitchell, who needs a friend at this time, and asked us to hold space. And Roger Salmon also asked us to do that. So let's keep all those people in our hearts and take a moment of silence, which will end with some music from David.
Taylor this morning. You've been so kind and generous. I don't know how you keep on giving. For your kindness, I'm in debt to you. For your selflessness, my admiration. For everything you've done, you know I'm bound to thank you for it. La 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 la. La 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 la. You've been so kind and generous. I don't know how you keep on giving. For your kindness, I'm in debt to you. And I never could have come this far without you. Yeah. For everything you've done, you know I'm bound to thank you for it. La 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 la. La 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 la. I want to thank you for so many gifts you gave, the love, the tenderness. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your generosity, the love and the honesty that you gave me. I want to thank you, show my gratitude, my love, and my respect for you. I want to thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
I want to thank you, 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 thank you. I want to
Thank you, thank you.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
I want to
Thank you, thank you.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia Simmons Taylor and Matt Edwards and David Smith. Thank you. Sunday after Sunday, such exquisite music. I am here this morning to say thank you. Merci, gracias, spasiba, dankeschön. I wish I knew each one of your special love languages so you would know how much I appreciate, how much Marlon appreciates, how much we appreciate you. As Shannon reminded us with her story this morning, heart prints lift up our spirits. Like the wings of a dove, they heal us with the power of love. So my question for you this morning is, can you imagine making 100 heart prints a day. Maybe some of them will be like potato prints, like the ones the kids are making right now. But I really want you to consider seriously if you can imagine finding or even just looking for every day 100 things to be grateful for. Ember is telling us a few. Her mom is one. And it's easy for me today because I'm looking at you. And that's really who I'm thankful for. And I'm going to name a few people. I'm going to take that risk. We're going to talk in a little bit about the risks of being grateful, of living a grateful life. But for instance, and I'm going to ask you to stand if you don't mind. I see Nancy Coriel right here in this blue dress. Yes, so Nancy Coriel has volunteered with our All Souls Reproductive Justice team for a long time and now is the president of the Roe Fund in Tulsa. So we get to say thank you. Thank you, Nancy. And I see Andrew Donovan Sheed over there who's volunteered for, I know, where is he? Who's volunteered for years with our Partners in Education team. I can't even keep track of all the clubs he's started, but he's an outdoorsman and an engineer, so math and computers and bicycles and chess. I think he's done all kinds of activities with the kids. And we were ushered in by Susie Oliver and Susie Ewing and Linda Jacobs and Steve Ludiker. So all of our ushers, yes. We'll talk a little bit more about them in a little while. Oh, and when I said Nancy, I meant to also mention Leanna Fish, who's an emerging new leader at the church, heading up our new All Souls Reproductive Justice team. In the process of creating a newsletter. And we have Claudia Arthrell here, who served for years and years as chair of the intern committee, and then passed that leadership over to Leo De Andrade on the other side. There's so many of you who do so many things that just stay invisible for most of the year. So this is a day to lift up those things and take a deep breath and stand up and be recognized. I see somebody else I'm going to call out in a minute. Because when the rest of us were hibernating at home, remember that, wearing stretch pants and t-shirts and sometimes getting on Zoom, some people were coming to church. They were showing up. They were going and growing, and they resurrected the garden team here at All Souls. And I see Peggy O'Neill in the back there. And, I didn't see, and Dorothy Davis and Kathy Hinkle. It's those masks. They make everybody incognito. Hopefully you've seen the beautiful plants in the foyer. They've been doing amazing work in our gardens, and I'm so excited to see the newly sanded and painted fountain when it returns soon to the garden. I've even heard rumors about living fish being in this new improved fountains, thanks to the hard work of just ordinary people like yourselves who we're recognizing this morning. During COVID, 2.5 years of COVID now, which seems unbelievable, when we were home and isolated and fearful and kept away from each other and these life-giving relationships and activities, a group of people, you might have seen some this morning, Mary Bain and Bill Kello and Rebecca Lawson, and I mentioned Steve and Jeannie Lee and Stacy Lee and Lisa Coates, they gathered together and they did this big transfer to online so we could continue to worship together. We saw all those people, maybe some of you, among them lighting chalices and really holding our connections, creating those ties that bind us together, even though we couldn't be together. So I want to know that all of you who are involved with Chalice Lighting and welcoming and chat hosts and welcoming people online have given this community this awesome gift of continuing connection and growth. And I need your help again thanking those people. Some of who are in the room, Elaine Hammer, I think, is outside in the foyer with our care team cards. I hope you'll take a moment to stop and sign those cards. It means the world when you get one. I know I've received a few with many of your signatures. Oh my gosh, here's Kate Klein in the front row. She sewed and made and designed my very first stole. So there's something I want to share this morning with you about gratitude. It's something I learned from A.J. Jacobs, who's the author of a few books. You might have heard these titles: A Year of Living Biblically and My Life as an Experiment. He has a whole long list of books, and I always thought his books were sort of silly until I paid a little bit more attention this past week. And what Jacobs did is an experiment. He just wanted to thank everybody for something very simple. He wanted to thank everybody involved with his one simple morning cup of coffee. And that experiment in living gratefully led him literally all across the world, as one awareness of gratitude or act of kindness or service led to an awareness and a connection to another act of kindness or generosity or service. There was the coffee plant and the coffee bean and the coffee cup and the coffee store and the harvesting of the coffee beans and the shipping and on and on. Imagine just thanking the people who plant and tend and harvest coffee plants and beans in Brazil and Vietnam and Colombia and Indonesia and Ethiopia and Honduras and India and Mexico and Peru and Uganda and Guatemala and Nicaragua and China. Those are just the top 13 producers of coffee in the world today. And then imagine thanking the people who weigh and store and ship and sell and buy the beans, and the people who dry and roast and grind and package and ship this second most traded commodity in the world. Jacobs thanked truck drivers and gravel dumpers and road builders and baristas, and he thanked coffee connoisseurs and coffee cup designers, and it took him a whole year. And as I said, he had to travel all around the world. So this morning, I am doomed to fail unless y'all help me. Especially because we have a much more difficult task before us today and this week. We have a much more difficult task. He was just thanking people for one simple cup of coffee, but I want us to thank everyone involved with creating and sustaining this exquisitely woven web of community we call All Souls, especially through these last difficult, really difficult years of a pandemic. So that means saying thank you to team leaders and volunteers, but maybe also thank yous to your parents or your friends or your spouses or your family members who first had to teach you to be generous with your time, and then also who share you, allow you to give yourself to All Souls, who share you with us. And they're the vehicles you use to get here, and the people who build them and maintain them, and the gas. Imagine all the thank yous, all the people involved. There are the intricate, mostly invisible technologies we use to stay connected. Imagine how many hundreds upon hundreds of thank yous it will require to thank the people who create and maintain and sustain this community. If we want to leave as many heart prints on as many people as possible in the one precious lifetime we've been given, there's no better way to start than by showing and sharing our gratitude. So we're practicing being grateful together today, out loud, in public, even if it makes us feel a little awkward. I'm sure some of us are worrying right now about leaving someone else out, or nervous about being left out. I'm a little nervous about that myself, but we're taking that risk because I'm hoping that by the end of this morning, here gathering together at All Souls, you'll decide that giving gratitude a chance to grow in your own life is worth the risk. Because there are risks involved with living gratefully besides leaving someone out, which I'm hoping with y'all's help won't happen. I've identified 3 risks of living gratefully I want to share with you now. I'm sitting down because they're a little bit heavy. And life-changing, transformational, if you take on the challenge. So first, there's the risk of not comparing yourselves to anyone else anymore. If you decide to live gratefully, you'll just be grateful for who you are as you are. And you'll drop that habit of comparing yourself to other people. That's one risk. A second risk is that you let go of kind of a habit of grumbling or just generally being dissatisfied with your life and choose to be grateful for your life the way it is. So that's the second risk. And then there's the third risk, if you choose to live gratefully, of stepping up and taking responsibility for what you've been given, because then you're no longer taking things for granted anymore. Once you decide to live gratefully, you'll notice so much in your life that you may have been taking for granted before, and instead you'll feel lots and lots of gratitude. So the three risks of not comparing yourself anymore to other people, letting go of your kind of habit of dissatisfaction, and not taking things for granted anymore. Those are powerful transformations that come through a simple practice of gratitude. What surprised me over the week thinking about it is it turns out that politeness, as my mother taught me, and as perhaps your parents taught you, being grateful, saying thank you, sending thank you notes, is not just about politeness. It's about much more than that. It's a true, profound spiritual path. So finding 100 things to be grateful for every day, I can assure you, I feel very confident saying, will change your life. Countless studies have shown this to be true, that we don't feel happy first and then experience gratitude. Instead, we choose to be grateful first and then we experience happiness. These psychologists say that the external world accounts for only 10% of our happiness, what's happening around us, all the crazy stuff we're dealing with every day in our lives and in the world. But our choice to have an attitude of gratitude accounts for 90% actually of what we live, what we experience. We create that from the inside out, 90% to 10%. Best-selling author Sean Anker continues explaining, if we postpone happiness until we arrive on the other side of success, however you decide to find that, we may never be happy. It's being positive in the present that releases dopamine in the brain and allows us to adapt to our circumstances and to grow and to learn what we need to know and make space for change in our lives. It's really wisdom of the ages, this simple practice of gratitude. So I ask you another question. What might change in your world if you lived each and every day intent on finding 100 things to be grateful for? Of course, there's only one way to find out what will change. But many of you know me quite well after 12 years here, so many of you won't be too surprised when I tell you that years ago, many years ago, thankfully, when I was a young mother, after the girls were in bed, I would spend that precious time before sleep reviewing my day, and instead of finding 100 things to be grateful for, I would lie in bed remembering every single thing I had done wrong that day and that I should have done better. See some people nodding. So I thought about how I could have been a better mother, a better daughter, a better midwife, a better sister, a better aunt, a better, just whatever, you name it, right? Just trying to be better. But what I've learned over the years is that berating ourselves for not being better is just a recipe for staying stuck. It's not the recipe for transformation. These days, so you can be relieved, and for many years now, instead, in that delicious time before sleep arrives, I review my day and literally review all the things I'm grateful for. I remember my mother and my father. I remember all the ways that people helped me that day. It's way better than counting sheep. I invite you to try it yourself tonight. And as you consider my invitation, I want to introduce the Kabbalan family to you. They're a family that our congregation has been involved with recently. Muhammad and Fatu are the parents, and Sham, Kozai, and Hamza are the 3 children. Now, you may or may not know that during the pandemic, our Board of Trustees voted to approve the use of one or two of our conservage houses, which are houses right around the corner here that are owned by the church, for use by new Tulsans for families of immigrants. Working with Congregation B'nai Emunah and the YWCA and Catholic Charities, I'm telling you, the ripple effect, the chain of generous gifts is large. And thanks to the incredible efforts of some visionary member leaders here at All Souls, I'm going to skip over their names. This family has made their way from a civil war in Syria and a refugee camp in Jordan to Maple Ridge, Tulsa, Oklahoma. And thanks to so many of yours and other people's incredible service and kindness and generosity, this family now lives in a well-kept, consistently maintained home with furniture and rugs and toys and clothes and an industrial sewing machine because Muhammad is an upholsterer. And they have bicycles and helmets. Thank you, Rebecca Lawson, an Everywhere member in Chicago. They have a brand new prayer rug from Saudi Arabia. Thank you, Roz Hand, and a food processor to make their own falafel. Muhammad has a job. Thank you to Rhonda Holt for finding the job and the food processor. And Muhammad is learning to drive, thanks to people's generosity, and a donated car is on the way from another immigrant family that owns a business here in Tulsa. But that's because our members are going out and meeting people, making connections, and asking for things. The family all has library cards now. I love that picture. And they're all learning English, thanks to Roz Elder and others who are helping with English classes. I really don't know how to show gratitude to all the people involved with this family's success here in Tulsa, but I do have a few ideas, and again, I need your help. I'm at your mercy. My success or failure today depends on you. I'm imagining we could write thank you notes to the Board of Trustees for their vote, or you could send thank you notes to the Conservage House team that keeps these houses in shape, or our All Souls repair team, who is starting to do more of that work, headed up by Dennis Grody. Thank yous to Roz Elder for organizing these ESL classes, and we do have cards. I think you got cards in your orders of service today. There are more cards in the foyer. If you leave your cards in the foyer, we'll actually mail them for you. And I want to leave you with a little story from one of the English classes that happened just in the last couple of months, a couple stories. Mohammed, as they get more comfortable with us, we're still communicating mostly with Google Translator app. Mohammed shared some of his feelings and thoughts about being in the United States, and he told us how afraid he was of moving to America because of what he had heard in the news, and of how happy and relieved he felt that he was meeting good people here. And as he was processing that, he told us that he hoped that the Americans who were meeting him and his family were also starting to question what they heard about Arab people in the news here. And Roz and several other members, Susie Ewing is one of them, assured Muhammad that despite their speaking Arabic and the sounds of the Arabic, and despite their wearing traditional dress, the women all wear head coverings, they said, we don't see terrorists, we see human beings. The family was so happy to hear those words, to have that exchange. And then a few weeks ago, Roz asked everyone in the family what they liked best here so far. Hamza, who's 7 years old, said, trampolines. Because he loves playing with the neighbors' children on their trampoline. Thank you to Michael Klenda for all you've been doing. And then Kozai, who is 11 years old, said, drive-through restaurants, when we can stay in our cars and get cold drinks and yummy food. And Sham, who is 12 years old, said her favorite thing was going to only one store to get everything the family needed. There were clothes and food and things for the house all in one place. It amazed her. And then Fatu, the mother, said, We've never been taken care of like this. We've never had so many people thinking about us and caring for us like this. We've never been loved like this before, she said. And then Muhammad the father said, back in Syria and then in Jordan as refugees, I never woke up with a sense of hope. Before coming here, life was just about existing. Life was only about survival. For the first time in my life, I wake up every day with a sense of hope, he said. This is what you do. This is who you are. And I need your help to say thank you to all the people involved with making and maintaining this beloved congregation and community. As we change the world, one conversation, one act of service, one cry for help, one act of generosity or kindness at a time. Because I've only skimmed the surface this morning, truly only skimmed the surface. So will you help me? That's a real question. Although a little more convincing than that. Will you help me? Thank you. Because as we know, you know that leaving handprints on other people's hearts won't only help someone else know they matter, it will help you know that you matter. And it will expand your life and invite more love into your day-to-day life. So let's love each other as if the world depends on it. Because you know what? I really think it does. And we can all be grateful for that together. Thank you so much.
Didn't have to love me like you did, but you did, but you did. I thank you. You didn't have to love me like you did, but you did, but you did. And I thank you. If you took your love to someone else, wouldn't know what it meant to be loved to health. You made me feel something I never felt, caring so good when I called for help. You didn't have to love me like you did, but you did, but you did. And I thank you. You didn't have to hold me like you did, but you did, but you did. And I thank you. Every day something new. You work so hard, giving your time to. You got me trying new things too, just so I can shine with you. Love me like you did, but you did, but you did. And I thank you. You didn't have to make it, but you did, but you did, but you did. I thank you. You didn't have to love me like you did, but you did, but you did. And I thank you, Lord. Didn't have to love me like you did, but you did, but you did. And I thank you. I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you.
thank all these musicians. And Cynthia, it's so great to have you with us. And wow, thank you. In just a moment, we are going to take an offering or receive an offering for the Day Center for the Homeless. You may remember a few years ago, our summer series was called Trading Places. And we all of us who speak before this congregation did something unusual, traded places with someone else, and then shared that experience. And I went to the homeless shelter and spent 24 hours there, not as a minister, but as as if I were homeless. So really getting to know people and really experiencing how they take you in when you arrive and what they do and what they tell you. And then I shared that experience. But while I was there, I met some of the most amazing people, and I learned that, for some families, it's just one bad decision or one bad break, and next thing you know, you don't have an apartment or you don't have a place to live and you got kids. You know how scary that is as a parent, and you can imagine for the children. So it's just a place where people can go in a moment when you have nothing, no roof over your head, no food, and at least be in a safe space. They have social workers that help people. So please give generously. We try to give away our offering every week to organizations like this that share our value. So even if it's just $1 or $5, $10, whatever you can give, I hope you will. You can do that online with a link. But before we receive that offering, I want to highlight a few things. Next Sunday, I look forward to being back talking to you. I've been away for 90 days. I've been thinking a lot about what I want to talk about, and I'm going to get a chance to share some things special to me next Sunday, and I hope you'll be there for that. Also, we are launching a new program, a small group program here at All Souls called Wellsprings. You'll see the information if you want to be a part of that. It's if you've been thinking to yourself, in this new season, I want to meet some new people who I've never met before, build some new relationships, or have some more deeper conversations, more meaningful conversations, deepen my spiritual life or that inner life of mine. This is the program for you. So check it out, and you can become a part of that. Also, our adult choir is going to be singing on Saturday at Circle Cinema, one of our community partners. There's a Leonard Cohen movie coming on called Hallelujah, and they're going to sing that song as part of the event there. And also, our Community Resource Bank is needing some volunteers on Thursday. So if you can volunteer and help out, they're loading some food, and then they're going to be giving away that food. So those are all things that you can do to help out our community. You're not going to do that thing you did last time, right?
Excuse me.
No, don't.
Excuse me. I have to interrupt you for a second. I think we have somebody to say thank you to, especially this Sunday after 3 months away. Who wants to say thank you to Reverend Marlin?
No, please. Please don't. The thanks really goes to Barbara for taking over as the senior minister so I could do this. And for people like David who kept this all going. Really the most amazing staff and volunteers in this community that would allow me and give me the opportunity to take that kind of time off. I really feel these are memories that have been deposited in the memory bank for my daughter and for my wife and me and our family that couldn't be.
I appreciate how he's turning that around. That's what makes
thank
him
you all.
That's what makes him a great leader. But I think we all feel extremely grateful for everything he's done to lead this community, for his vision, for what he's going to bring back to us and what he's going to do for us in the future. So maybe you'll take a minute to get a gratitude card or mail him a postcard, because we really do thank you.
Oh, well, I know you said that we have to learn to be humble, to receive thanks. So I'm going to work on that, but I will say that don't waste a postcard on me. There's so many other people that deserve a thank you in this community, and I'm looking at so many of you right now. So appreciate everybody. Let's now receive our offering for the Day Center for the Homeless.
Thank you for that lovely egg shaking and piano playing, and thank you for taking on ZZ Top this morning. Woohoo! Really allowing space, making space to feel grateful for all the gifts of our lives is an endless source. It's a bottomless well of it's a life-giving force that you can always tap into. So I hope you'll take me up on my challenge and give gratitude a chance to grow in your own life starting today. See what happens. Take those risks we talked about, and I hope you'll receive our thanks today. Please don't leave this building without taking one of our gift bags. There's some really good goodies in here. There's coffee next door. We're going to open up those doors. Please stay, meet each other, thank each other for the ways you serve this community. There's cake in the foyer. Talk to some of our teams, ask them what they do, say thank you to them. This is an exponential way for us to grow in appreciation of the life we've been given in this beautiful community. Oh, and don't forget the little shoulder massage. And if you write a card, we'll mail it for you. And as we saw with those beautiful children, I'll leave you with these words. May your eyes see beauty. May your lips speak truth. May your heart know love. And may your hands do the good works of this world all the days of your life. Until we meet again.